I watched the flood as it drowned the riverbank. The delta looked like it was under attack. La 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 I lost my rose-colored lenses at a party last Saturday night. I can't help but feel so defensive as I look into your eyes. And as I fall in the abyss that I call your love, I feel so inclined to cry. How can I be up above? What is a constellation if not a story of lost love, floating away from you when you need it most. So that was a song by today's guest, Avanti Singh. The song is called Callisto IV, which I believe is the name of a moon, which comes in turn from Greek mythology. We're going to talk a little bit about that in the interview. There's another half of the song to go. You really should check out Avanti's version. She doesn't have much music out. I think she has less original music out at this point than anyone else I've had on the show, but I heard her sing once and it just blew me away. And I knew even if a lot of the songs aren't there yet, when they're out, they're going to be good, because honestly, this is one of the most interesting songs I've heard from a guest, and I could still use some practice. But anyway, I wanted to share that with you, and I hope you enjoy my interview with Avanti. Here it is. So, Avanti, from what I can tell from your public output, you've been doing some covers. You did something for a benefit where you did a performance of Somebody to Love by Queen. You really got Freddie Mercury's mannerisms down. And you have at least one original out there called Callisto IV that's really cool. So, why don't you give us a sort of summary of where your musical journey is at and what's coming next?
Okay, so right now I'm at this place where I'm learning to produce my own music, which is really cool because I didn't know how to do that before. So now I can start making my own stuff. And I think Callisto 4, it was my first single, and I liked it at the time. But now that I have more experience with producing my own music, I know that there's so much room for improvement. So the music that I'm making right now, I'm really like working really hard on it, and I'm working on so much new music. Hopefully, I'll be able to put some out over the next few months. But in India, studios are all closed right now, and I mean, I don't know if you can hear the crickets right now. So I can't record at home because I'm staying in this place outside Bombay, which is like really naturey. So there are crickets blaring all day long. So there's no way I can record here. So I have to record in the studio, but all of them are closed. So I don't know when I'll be able to put out my new music, but hopefully over the next few months. But it's way better than Callisto 4.
Okay,
So
well, I was really impressed with that one. I'm someone who settles for the amateur sound because I figure it just takes a lot of luck and investment to really get into the studio with good people. But are there any of these lessons you've learned about producing that you think you could share with our audience that aren't too technical to be interesting?
I think the most important thing I've learned is that just keep making music. And like, don't if you can't get the sound you want, don't just quit because of that, which I think I did a lot of. I Last year I barely made any music. I just made Callisto 4 and I stopped after that because I was like, I've put out a song, and then I was just relaxing, and I was like, I don't know how to produce my own music, so what's the point of trying? But I think the biggest lesson I've learned is just to keep making beats or like tracks, and don't just stop don't let your don't stop yourself,
Right.
just Yeah.
And that process for you. So I know you're a guitar player. How many different kinds of instruments are you using? A lot of digital instruments in your music making. What does making a track mean for you?
So I use my guitar a lot. I usually start off with some keyboard, like just usual chords and stuff. But I don't have a MIDI keyboard right now. I'm gonna get one. So I just use the keys on my laptop, and I use that and I play some chords, and then I add some drums to that and some bass, and that's where I start off usually. Recently, I've been going the lo-fi route and making really like using really spacey chords and stuff like that. Electric piano is especially.
Right. And when
Um,
you say drums, is that real drums or you type?
no, no, no. I
Yeah.
type the drums, but then I change the velocity of some of the drum hits, and I kind of move them just a little bit so that it's not too robotic, so that it
Mhm.
has that kind of human feel to it. Otherwise, it just doesn't have the same feel. Not that, I mean, you obviously can't emulate real drums on the laptop just by like hitting the keys, but it's close enough. So.
Right. I don't know if you know the music YouTuber Rick Beato, but his criticism of modern music is that it's too perfect because it's on computers. The drums are always just on rhythm, whereas the great old drummers, their rhythm wasn't actually perfect, but he thinks that actually makes the music better. So I don't know if you're finding ways to bring little mistakes into your music.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. But yeah, that's what my music teacher, the one who's teaching me production, that's what he taught me. Like, because he does it every time, and he says that it's because it's just, it doesn't feel human if it's so perfect, like Rick Beato said. Yeah.
Right. So I remember hearing a song of yours at this open mic recently. Was that Callisto 4?
No, that was a song called Nostalgia, but like no nostalgia as two separate words.
Right.
Um,
Oh,
because
very cool. Well, yeah, in that case, so then you struck lightning twice for me. They both reminded me a little bit of Joni Mitchell, songwriting wise. You have an expressive voice. You're using unconventional chords. Your lyrics are quite poetic. What can you tell us about your process? Are these things that come naturally to you? Are you really trying to create something ambitious? What's the story there?
So I usually just whenever I with these two songs at least, I usually just pick up my guitar and I start playing chords that I like to listen to. So chords like major sevenths, which sounds so pretty and they sound really spacey. And so for both of these songs, I use like a lot of major seventh chords because I really like them. So I usually just start off playing like one or two chords and start humming a melody over it. And I write while coming up with the melody and while figuring out the guitar. It's like all at once. I don't start off with lyrics and then move on to creating a melody and the track. I usually do it all together on the guitar and then and then transfer it onto my laptop, like record it and play it and add more elements to it. But yeah, it's
So
usually like a really mashed up process. Everything happens at once, kind of.
yeah, I guess because Callisto 4, it's kind of mysterious. Like, does it start out as a topic you want to write about, or did you just hear a random lyric and chord combination in your head and you have to turn it into something?
I think it was yeah, I heard some stuff in my head and I was like, yo, this sounds really cool. So I picked up my guitar and I just started playing some chords and the lyrics, I don't think I finished the lyrics in one sitting. I think I came up with like a few cool lyrics. I think this is what happens with all of the songs that I do. It's like I come up with two or three lyrics that I find really profound and really cool. And then I'm like, I have to make a song like around this, and then I kind of just worked on it. Callisto 4 actually, it started off like that. I came up with two or three cool lyrics and I put them down. And then when I was trying to think of a title for the song, because it didn't really fit any one particular theme, it was the lyrics were kind of all over the place. And then I was reading some Greek mythology stuff, and I found the story of Callisto, and then the lyrics sort of started making sense, and I just tweaked a few things here and there, and then just the song just told the story of Callisto while also weaving it into like
Right,
a
and
modern.
can you briefly tell us, because I'm thinking of Calypso, but they must be different characters.
Yeah, they are. So Callisto was this woman who she was one of Artemis's maidens or something, and Zeus really wanted to have sex with her, and so he disguised himself as Artemis, and then he went to her, and then he raped her, and later on she got pregnant, and then Artemis found out and turned her into a bear, and then she had a son and everything, and her son was out hunting one day and came across this bear, and he was about to kill his mother, but he didn't know it was his mother,
Huh.
and so then Artemis turned both of them into constellations so that they could be together, and but then Hera, who is Zeus's wife, was jealous that Zeus raped her, and so she put the two constellations like on opposite poles, so they would never meet. So I
Yeah, no,
found that really
I could see how that story just naturally leads to your style of songwriting. It's so
yeah.
lively and so all over the place. I wanted to
Yeah.
ask about a couple of the other references. I think you used a Latin phrase in there, "bet dit donc" or something, which
Oh
I
yeah.
find
It was
that
au bedi don, which is a French sentence. I think it means are you kidding me or
okay,
something. Yeah.
gotcha.
So
And then you also referred to what I think must be a famous Indian lighthouse, Prongs Reef.
yeah, it's not really famous, but it's this lighthouse that you can see from this one part of Bombay. There are many lighthouses because it's coastal, and this is one that my dad once pointed out to me, so I found that really significant. And it's kind of like a ship trying to find its way in the dark, and so it uses constellations, but sometimes you need a lighthouse, and then sometimes the lighthouse isn't there. So that was, yeah.
So my last guest, or I guess by the time this goes up, my previous guest, he was from Brazil. I talked to him a bit about his relationship to language because he's recording in his second language. I'm curious for you. I don't really understand how it works in India. I guess Maratha would be the other main language where you are besides English. Uh,
Yeah, so in Maharashtra, where Marathi is the primary language, but I don't speak Marathi because my parents aren't from Maharashtra, even though I was born and raised here. So I speak
okay.
Hindi and English, but in school and at home, we've always spoken English. So I'm bilingual, I guess, but my English is slightly better than my Hindi, which is a little shameful. But yeah, I'm fluent in both though, so it's
Right. And so would you ever write songs in Hindi? Would you feel you're at a disadvantage there?
yeah, I think I'd be at a disadvantage there because I've I can't really come up with profound, so to speak, lyrics or lyrics that I like in Hindi. And I feel like if I try to write in Hindi, which I have, I end up reusing lyrics from Hindi songs that I've already heard.
Right.
Because yeah, and I mean the few times that I tried, I ended up like writing some stuff, and then when I was reading it or like listening to myself singing it, I was like, this is all of these songs together. These are just lyrics handpicked from so many different songs. And yeah, but I sing Hindi stuff occasionally, and I record it on Instagram. And some of my friends have written Hindi songs and asked me to sing them. And
Right.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that works. I can
'Cause
speak Hindi as
I think I saw one of those. So you're working, I guess, on an album, and one of your friends' songs is going to be on there.
I was working on an EP, but then I decided that I wanted to release the three songs as three singles instead.
Mhm.
Because I feel like for an independent artist such as myself, um, releasing an EP, especially when I don't have much of a fan base, doesn't make much sense. And rather than releasing three songs at once and having people only listen to maybe one or two of the three, I'd rather release three singles at like in a 3 month, 4 month interval, and then have people listen to each song as and when it comes out. And then I also have more content for a larger period of time. So I
For
felt like
sure.
that makes
Though I did see you got the attention of Rolling Stone.
yeah, for Callisto 4. So I found this guy, Dave Arrows is his Instagram handle, and he is a writer for Rolling Stone India, and he's really sweet. He does this thing where if you release a new song, you can just DM him on Instagram and tell him about it, and then send your song to him, and then he reviews it and just adds it to the monthly playlist.
Amazing.
It's really cool, yeah.
So when you talk about deciding, okay, I'm just going to go with the three singles, is that just your strategy? Are you getting advice from like your music education? I don't know. Do you have a really long-term plan?
Well, long term, I have no long term plan. I just kind of go with the flow. But this the EP, I was working on it with my friend Josh, who is a music producer in Bombay, and he's been producing for a really long time, and so he's producing the three songs that were supposed to be on the EP but are now three singles. And we were discussing it together. We were trying to figure out, and this was a strategy we came up with together. But in the long term, I have no idea. I mean, my current music teacher, this guy Aman Moroni, he works at this place called the Media Tribe. It's this record label slash music school in Bombay. It's really cool. And so he said you should try having an album out in the next year so that you can win a Grammy in like 2 years, which is really aspirational. I never actually thought that that was attainable, but I feel like you have to dream big, and if you don't, then you won't work towards it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would have been curious if you actually had bought into that. I mean, it would have been really fascinating to talk to you and hear all that ambition coming out, even if it was a stretch. Uh,
No, I have. I definitely I have bought into it entirely. I'm gonna win a Grammy in the next 5 years at the maximum is my plan.
okay,
Hmm.
this will be one
Yeah.
of the first Avanti Singh interviews, and
The first Avanti Singh interview.
amazing. So maybe this will be a total flop. You have a thing on your Instagram where you sing songs where the singers are kind of muttering the lyrics, trying
Yeah.
to see what they sound like to you.
Yeah, I did Animals by Maroon 5, and I was like, baby, I'm preying on schools tonight, hunt them down, eat juveniles, just like animals, animals. So it became a kind of child cannibalism thing
Right.
instead. Yeah.
I don't know. Are there any that stand out to you that you didn't end up recording for that Instagram feature?
Hmm. I can't remember. I just people just put set the songs in, and then whatever came to me on in the moment, I just recorded that. I remember one of them was Ocean Eyes, and I was like, I've been watching you for some time. Can't stop staring at those crocin thighs. Crocin is this Indian paracetamol. It's like a headache medicine. So yeah, because she says it so softly, like ocean eyes, and it's so low. So crocin thighs is what came to mind. Weird. I don't know. It just
Yeah.
yeah.
I think there's a surprising amount of songs like that. Yeah, especially when artists are singing in a higher voice. And yeah, I'll ask more people these days what they're hearing because they're even within the songs that are recorded, there are clearly so many variants of what the songs actually are.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, there was this one by Drake, Just Hold On, We're Going Home. I don't think I did that, but I remember thinking that the lyric was uh you left your mom for me instead of everything that I what is it? What's the actual lyric? See, I don't even remember the actual lyric. I just remember you left your mom for me, and I thought the whole song was like an elaborate your mom joke, and I was discussing this with a friend of mine, and we both thought that was the lyric because I mean it's so hard sometimes these singers just sing like blah, 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 blah. I
Actually,
don't know.
I'm going to get to reference Beethoven for the first time, despite having the statue here. I remember hearing the chorus for his Ninth Symphony and thinking the lyrics were "God may listen, God may ignore, but he'll never marry you," which is
What's the actual lyric?
something in German. So, but that's sounded to me like a little kid. Anyway, this has been great. Do you have a song you can perform for us?
Oh, yeah, sure. I could do Nostalgia, the one I performed at the open mic, if
Yeah,
that's
sounds
okay.
great. Yeah.
Cool. I'll just my guitar's lying right here. Just give me a second. So this is Nostalgia. Nostalgia as two separate words because my friend and I are very lame. Yeah, so here goes. Ooh, oh. Why is the sky this blue? It doesn't look good on you. But it makes me feel at ease. When you said I wasn't ready, what exactly did you mean? Your voice makes me nostalgic after the sun goes down. Romance sounds so dramatic, that's why I let you go. Why'd you move so fast? That's why we never stood a chance. Desire isn't made for two. Timeless love and day. When I made you cry, oh, oh, oh. Desire isn't made for two. You make me feel like a salty breeze in Bombay on the steps of the Asiatic. You make me think that I'm not the only one on the brink of falling apart. Your voice makes me nostalgic after the sun goes down. Romance sounds so damn tragic, that's why I let you go. We weren't made to last, that's why I ended it so fast. Desire isn't made for two. Timeless love and day. When I'm made to cry, oh, oh. Desire isn't made for two. Your face, your embrace, and the truth is, desire isn't made for two.
Wow, yeah, no, I'm glad I got to hear that one again.
Thank
The
you.
second time, but Avanti, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. So
that was my interview with Avanti Singh. Had a great time. You should check out her Instagram, check out her faking the lyrics to all those songs. There were a couple I threw at her that she didn't know. One of my favorite examples of that is the Macy Gray song called I Try. I always heard it as, I want to say goodbye, Aunt Acho. Who is Aunt Acho? I don't know. But anyway, Avanti has some great versions of that kind of thing. Let me know if you have any other songs that fit with that theme, and check out more of Avanti's music, which I'm sure is going to keep being great, because Nostalgia, Callisto IV, two amazing, amazing songs. Anyway, I'm Zach Morgenstern. This is silent co-host Ludwig von B. See you next time.